So today we are going to be making one of my favorite noodles, pappardelle. It is one of my favorite noodles because it's long and it's thick, and I love the texture of pasta just as much as I love the taste. So I just love doughy things. I like raw pancakes. I love cookie dough. Like I don't know. I'm a dough girl. Anyways, we're gonna make pappardelle. Super easy. It's basically as easy as cavatelli, but a little bit different. Today, I'm going to be using my KitchenMaid because it's just faster. If you have the time, grab your rolling pin. You probably want to cut your dough up into smaller pieces because trying to roll out your entire brick, it will exhaust you and you might not enjoy it. But put your music on, get your drinks out, get your water, your coffee, your wine, whatever else you drink it all at once. I usually have 2 to 3 drinks going at the same time. Sometimes it's coffee and wine. Nobody gives a fuck. We're not taking things seriously here. So get your dough, and then if you're rolling it out, you just want to roll it out to the length you want your noodles, and you want the dough like thin. I'll show you with this. So we're gonna do it in this machine, and if you have this machine, I will show you what number to go to and how to do this with the dough. It's the same process when you're rolling it out, it's just more by hand. You're going to need just a little bit of flour. I would say 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of flour. You just want to put it on your noodles as you're rolling it out, because whether it's with a rolling pin or whether it's with this, as you work with the dough, it gets more wet. So you just want to add a little flour to it so it doesn't stick to the rolling pin, and you definitely don't want it sticking to your KitchenMaid. You do not want to ever get this wet. I learned this from a Portuguese chef, and he made it very clear you don't want to get any of your tools wet, especially these ones that connect to your machine, because if you get any liquid in there, it will solidify with the flour and you will never get it out. And it's a really unfortunate death. So don't get it wet. Just blow on it. There's little brushes you can buy to actually clean this out and not get it wet, because they know. All right, get your stuff together. We'll meet you back over. Okay, so you have your flour, and you just want to put a little on your counter and keep a little bit in the measuring cup. You're gonna get flour everywhere. Again, warning, flour is going to be everywhere. Don't have any other expectations. Let it go, embrace it, just embrace it. You can clean it up later, don't get anything wet. And then it's super easy to clean up, I promise. You just sweep it up, and then after you sweep, because it does get a little coating, then all you have to do is mop with like a mat or a rag. That's it. But it will get everywhere. You can't get upset about it, because if you do, don't make pasta. Honestly, don't, because you'll give yourself anxiety. So take your dough. We have our brick, and you just want to put it in the flour and then put it like that. I'll show you. Like that. And then you just kind of coat it. All right. Like that. Perfect. Now, put that back. So, once that's done, take it to your cutting board. My cutting board is right here. And you just want to cut it into the size of dough ball that you want to roll. So I cut my dough ball in half because I'm using the KitchenMaid. The people who are using their rolling pin, it will take like probably a good 20 minutes more, but definitely worth it. I need a good rolling pin, and then I will start doing that. I also need a bigger counter because my counter is little. So you take your dough, and then you take the other half that you're not doing right now, you put it back in plastic immediately. Put it back in plastic because you don't want it to get dry on the outside. You just don't. Really, really annoying when it does. And you just wrap it up, put that aside for later. So you have the machine, you want it on level 7 to start, so like the widest. the one that is the widest setting. And then I usually put it at level 4 because it's not too aggressive. Level 5. In between 4 and 6. Let's go with that. Turn it on. And you just kind of stretch it out and then put it through. Kind of hold it, pull back a little at the top. And that just helps, I find, make it more elastic. And then you want to fold it in half and then put it through at that same number again. And if your dough is getting moist already, you'll notice that it starts to rib in the middle a little maybe. Just put it right through the flour again, both sides, just like that. And then you fold it in half again. I like to do it 3 times because I just like the number 3. Let's do 4 for like good luck sometimes. Alright, so then you have this shape. Okay? And you want it as even as possible on each side. So you want to, like, when you're folding it, rotate what end you're putting through. And then you just start, put it through one more time. And then just go to number 2. And if every time you feel like it's getting too moist, or you see that ribbing in the middle, just put it through the flour. You do not add too much flour at this point. You can, but you won't, because you'll know, like, it's not sticking to you, but sometimes it just warms up. And then just run it through again. I'm going to, because I can feel that it's getting a little sticky and moist. And then put it to number 4. Now, if you want to fast forward, we're going to number 7. Put it through the flour one more time. My machine has made my noodles really thin and long. So, and sometimes that just happens. So my dough is getting to be a little thin. If you can't see, it's like literally the width of my hand, skinnier. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold it in half and put it through together like that and create just a thicker, wider start. And we're on number 5. Get out of there. And then just roll it in flour. It won't break, it won't stick. Just kind of, there you go. Play with it. Put it in the flour like that. And then you can turn that off now. And then you have your dough. This is fucking ratchet, but it will taste the same. I don't know what's going on with my machine today. It's just Murphy's Law. It's my first YouTube of Pappardelle, and of course, it's not working. But that is life. So we're gonna continue. All right, so you wanna put this off to the side. And then, so my piece is like super, 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 super long, right? So I'm gonna cut it in half. Reminder, nobody's perfect. And that is the best part about pasta, is the more ratchet they look, the more rustic they look. And you know what? People pay big money for rustic shit. So, you can always make it taste good. Look at that. See? Look at my edges. Brutal. But when you make it and then you put it in sauce, it looks cool. So, don't take it too seriously. Oh my God, there's flour all over my whatever. Flour everywhere, okay? It's the law. All right, so you take your dough, you take your cutting board, and you roll your dough. So let me show you a little closer. Okay, so what you want to do is take your dough and just gently, you don't want to push on it, just gently fold it over like a ribbon and roll it. There we go. Gently, gently. Again, we don't want to rush this. You don't want to rush your pasta making time, ever. got no idea where my big knives are. Okay, so then what you want to do, now that it's folded into a ribbon, right? You just want to cut it. So about, I would say half. Pappardelle is quite a fat noodle. So let me show you. For the record, pasta grows. So like it may look this thick now, but it will get wider as you boil it. It grows. You learn that the hard way every time. Trust me. So here is my line. I'll give you an example. That is my thumb. So it's wider than my thumb, so it's probably a male thumb width. Okay, now look at this, watch this. So you just cut it like that, one. Now remember, my noodles are really big, and when I say big, I mean really long. And you wanna do that right away, by the way. You wanna unroll it right away, so it doesn't stick. And then, you know, they're very, very, very long. Very long. So that's the equivalent to 4 noodles, basically, right? And you just do that. And you can't be too aggressive, honestly. Once it has the flour and the elasticity in it, you can't. Like, I mean, you can fucking rip it, obviously, but like, don't do that. And then you unravel all of them. Okay? Just like that, like a whip. And then toss them, that extra flour that you put on the side, just sprinkle like you're putting icing on a cake. That's all that you need for the end flour sprinkle. And then you just toss it together like that. And then if you're freezing it, okay, you want to put it in the deep freeze right away, but you want to put a little extra flour. So like if I was freezing it, if you're cooking it from here into the pot, or from here onto a tray until your pot is boiled. If I'm freezing it, I want to douse it in more flour, and then loosely, don't, like, do not squeeze this ball. Loosely put it into plastic and then put it in the freezer, and it will freeze right away, but you want it in the deep freeze. Swick. All right, sweet. That is all it takes. And then you put tomato sauce in it, and it's like you're in Italy. I love you all. Have an awesome Monday or an awesome day, and I will be back soon. Mwah.